Hey everybody, Jordan from Back Society here. Do me a favor and click that subscribe button below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single episode. Now, back to grinding.
Whatever, let's get into politics. Baby.
All right, guys, how are we feeling about the United States right now? We feeling solid? Are we bull or bearish?
Bearish.
There.
It's not looking good, man.
Yeah.
Not 50-year mortgages, 15-year car loans. It is the epitome of you will own nothing and be happy.
I think there has to be a revolt.
You're predicting
I only think that because
I don't even know why they floated 50-year mortgages. When you look at the numbers, it like saves people a couple $100 a month, but it adds like hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened. There's some idiot who got into the Oval Office and was just like, yo, Mr. Trump, I got the greatest idea ever that can make you look good. 50-year mortgages.
Do you think
he's like, oh,
affordability?
Okay, sure. And then
Do you think he's just out of touch
I think
with reality?
I think not only is he out of touch, he's surrounded himself with like the worst people imaginable that can only see short term and whatever is going to inflate their wallet and get them clout.
Here's the thing. He's trying to just play the PR game. He's like, hey, here's what we'll do. And I think they're like, sir, what we'll do is we'll temporarily allow them to extend mortgages out to 50 years. This will save people a couple $100 a month, make things more affordable. And then like once you do the basic math though, it's like, oh, it's actually unaffordable and it's locking, like literally driving people into like economic slavery by like tying you to a house for 50 years to pay off.
It's
Like, that's
like you won't own
insane,
anything.
dude. Yeah. Dude, he's like the Klaus Schwab of the United States, dude. Like, what are we talking? Can you imagine having a 15-year car loan on a car that's $40,000?
It won't even last that long.
It makes no like what bank is gonna be like, yup. You know, it's crazy, dude. I did see today that the Secretary of the Treasury said that they're going to lower tariffs to bring down grocery prices, which is a tacit admission that the tariffs are raising prices, bro. It makes no sense.
At least we're getting those $2,000 checks. That's going to really save us.
From where?
I
thought it was supposed to pay off the debt. I thought it was supposed to pay off the debt. It makes no sense.
The debt is growing, bro.
Here's the thing.
First of all, know what the Republican Party is for anymore.
They're not for anything. They're for whatever Trump's for. That's it,
dude.
Except for Epstein.
So they give us this $2,000 stimulus check. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool for a year, and then once you realize that next year it's like inflation just skyrockets because everybody got $2,000, and they're probably gonna spend it on Amazon or spend it.
No. That's what they want you to do.
That's what they want you to do. Exactly. That's what
because it drives up GDP. What they don't want you to do is pay off debt.
Exactly. But I'm saying is what is most common people gonna do?
I don't know.
They're not gonna pay off debt.
They're not.
I swear to God, they're not. And then
they're not gonna pay off debt because people have bills to pay. They're probably spend it on bills, groceries.
But here's the thing too. Here's the thing. Now I remember when we read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Rich people, they look at debt differently than like other people, than most people. They use debt as their advantage. So like, even though we're like, yeah, we're in like $30,000 in debt, or it's different because like, or worth like $30 trillion in debt. It's different though because America has assets, so we're not really like $30 trillion in debt. It's just for the normal people that think, oh, we gotta save money to pay off this debt.
Well, your boy, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he always said it's the whole thing like, oh, $100,000 of debt, that's your problem. $100 million of debt, that's the
bank's problem,
right?
Exactly.
Like, but you still gotta get to that point, right? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I mean, like, if for the bank's not doing anything,
like personal debt, you know. Their companies in debt. That's different.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Yeah, if your company's in debt, that's why they have them incorporated so it doesn't affect you personally.
Yeah. They could end up walking away.
That's why Trump can say a lot of times like, "Well, I've never been through a bankruptcy." He's talking about a personal bankruptcy. He's not talking
Yeah.
about all the LLCs that had to file for bankruptcy and got liquidated. You know what I mean?
So with that being said, are we really in debt?
Yeah, we're in debt. Anyway, well, no, because currency's not real. It's a game we all play. It
True.
doesn't really
You're
matter.
right. You're right. You're
But we
right.
are in debt to a certain extent because the problem is the Chinese, the Japanese, other countries have leverage on us because they've bought some of our debt and are allowing us to kind of like almost like spread it out. You know what I mean? So then when they come calling, we're gonna be like, oh shit. And then, like you said,
See, I
we
don't
have
believe
assets.
that.
No,
I
they're
don't
buying
believe that.
more. The Chinese have
They're gonna continue to buy more.
Yeah.
But like you said, we do have assets. So eventually they're gonna be like, well, that port's looking pretty nice. Why don't you send that our way and we'll
What
waive maybe $1 trillion.
what country has called in their debt?
Nobody. I mean, it's hard to call debt
Exactly.
on the country.
That's
It's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nobody has
so
ever
that's
called in their debt.
that's actually the what they were the rationale they were trying to use to say, why do we have a debt ceiling? Like, what's the point?
What's the point? What is the
Doesn't
point?
matter. But
I think
eventually
it's a
we do
fear
have to.
mongering.
But here's the thing: we do have to borrow money because we operate at a deficit. And they
Yeah,
literally
borrow money
do.
from who?
They borrow money from people buying bonds. That's how they get money. And it's
China
usually
buys a lot.
China buys a lot of bonds, which is an infusion of cash into
But
the
if
system.
China was like, you know what, we want to take over the America right now. Let's just call in our debt.
Well,
Could they?
they would say, all right, I have all these bonds that are matured. You now need to pay up. And we would be like, oh, we're not liquid enough to pay that. And they'll say, well, what else can you give me? That's what's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure if China or anybody else would call in for their debt or whatever, we would have a gun in their face.
No, that's not what happened. They would say, hey, how about this? How about we're going to take Taiwan and you guys don't do anything and we'll forgive a lot of the debt. And we'll be like, okay.
Right. But how come they're not doing that now?
Because they're not ready yet.
China's not ready yet?
They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet.
Oh, a little hit going on.
No, I'm just
over
saying they're not ready yet. And the American people would flip. Like, I just don't think there's the political will because they see political will for foreign engagement starting to erode in America. And I think they're waiting for it to hit a certain point where, like, all right, we can do this.
I think okay. Oh, so China's waiting for more erosion from the American people. So
Yep.
like when we're about to overtake this government because we have to well, okay.
Scott
Everything
thinks
is-
he's king of the Zoomers, dude. He thinks he's gonna just run this country with the Zoomers behind him.
No.
Dude, those
I'm
numbers
just
are
no.
getting radical, bro. It's gonna be
No,
tough.
all
They're
I'm
getting
saying
radical.
all I'm saying is like look at the surroundings, right? Look, like they said like when Rome collapsed, right? There was so much money in the circus and the entertainment, all that stuff, right? Look at the NBA, look at the NFL. There's so much money, right? Like the sports has gotten so much like basketball's not even basketball anymore because there's so much money in there, right? Look at football, you can't even hit nobody anymore because there's so much money. There's so much money into these entertainment stuff that I think like we're at a point where we are just so distracted. And I mean, like, you know, you got Trump, he's fighting Epstein, right? We know this. Like, we know this. We
Amen.
know this guy is protecting these people. Like, you know what I mean?
That's your
And
boy, though.
then you just had they take like an 8-week paid vacation. These people for the government shutdown. You know what I mean? Like it's just so like I think it's I think something's brewing because people just had enough. They had enough because they didn't slow drip it. It was just so fast in your face You know what I mean? Just
I mean, I do agree.
mean-
People do seem pretty fed up. It seems like the tide
Yeah.
is definitely turning, especially if this last week was any indication.
Oh,
Oh, the
dude.
elections, yeah.
What? Yeah. That was kind of dumb for me too because it's like all the Democrats won all the elections and they they completely folded on the government shutdown. Literally got
Embarrassing. So, oh my god, dude!
but that makes you
Embarrassing. So
doesn't that make you think though?
no,
Like
what
because that's
what makes me think that at the bottom line, the real reason they caved is not because of the ACA subsidies, people with healthcare or food. It's just flight travel became a little more inconvenient. That's the main reason they ended up folding. And not to mention they've lost the information where they caved for a pinky promise that, you know, they'll vote on an ACA subsidy, and the Republicans are already backing off on that already. They want stricter abortion rights to bring it to a vote, and that's if the vote, you know, even goes their way, which it probably won't, you know. And not only did they cave, but Angus King came out. One of the people who folded was just like, you know, Trump's just too tough to stand up against. It was like, what are you for then? What are you for? What is your opposition? What are you
there
for?
for something or die or fall for anything.
And then Fetterman, another Democrat who came out, was just like, you know, it was our fault this happened to you guys. It was everyone who suffered under the shutdown. It was evil, and we're sorry. Like, what are you like?
I mean, you know,
Clean house.
it's
Clean house.
the senator from Illinois,
Plain
Durbin?
house.
your boy Dick Durbin,
Yeah.
who's also in leadership with the Democrats. So that the fact that Dick Durbin voted in favor of it means that he had the tacit like approval of Schumer to go for it.
Yep.
Right, because they're not going to all go for it. They're going to give them just enough. That's why it was exactly enough to get to a 60-40 vote. Like it was not a, you know, oh, these 8 people crossed the line. No, they were handpicked to vote yes. That's exactly what happened.
That's
And it makes sense
exactly
if you look at it though, because it's people like you said, the senators from Nevada, right? Flight travel makes it's harder, so like tourism's going to be impacted. Tim Kaine of Virginia, federal government shutdown, people not getting paid, so they're like handpicking these people. Dick Durbin in you know, he's in leadership, but he's not the leader, but it's just enough. So like it all makes sense, man. Like it's all a game.
It is all a game. My thing is, the thing I was complaining about was not only because, you know, they got nothing out of it. They made themselves look like idiots, but in the messaging war, why are you just gonna say that shit? Like you couldn't come up with a better excuse instead of making yourself seem like pussy bitches?
Yeah, it's painful.
Not only did they just cave to what the Republicans wanted, but they're also just like, let's cave on the messaging war too. They're 2 tough guys, and we're the bad guys, you know? Sorry. Do you forgive us? Like, that's not politics.
But also it shows how weak Chuck Schumer is. The dude just sucks at his job.
And he like 100 years old.
Might as
He
well be.
sucks. Yeah,
Might as well be, dude.
He's retiring though, right? Isn't he retiring?
He's not retiring, but he's got a line of people that are gunning for his job right now.
dude, what is it? I saw on like CNN or something. They're like, all right, you know, with Democrats, you know, Chuck Schumer has like he's like plus 14 approval. So like, you know, he's mostly approved of. And then they were like, but AOC with Democrats plus 56 or something like it was something crazy.
And she's
Or
doing
46, right? She's like a 96%
yeah.
approval rating, and he's like in the 60s. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
she could win and take his seat easily. Like if she ran against him, she'd be the favorite. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
She'd probably win too.
She would win.
Especially
Yeah,
with
she
New York
would.
on her back, yeah.
I think it's because she just has nice boobs. That's it.
I mean, that's 80% of the game, dude.
Swear to God, dude. Optics, baby. Everything is all optics.
It's all optics. Yeah.
Dude, that's why, you know what? I'm starting to think, all right, so let's just say this, right? If everything that Donald Trump has put into power, like in place, it's just for optics. Like, look at the lady on ice.
Oh my
Cash
God,
Noel.
Christy Nome.
I'm just saying, like Cash Patel, all his like major like infrastructure talking points has good optics. So what if Donald Trump is just an optic in himself? Who's
That's what he
running
is.
Donald?
He's well, no, dude. You gotta understand. His brand and how he got famous was literally marketing himself.
Right,
That's
right,
all it
right, right.
was. It was like, how do I look rich? You know how I look rich? I get a plane that's kind of shitty, but I'm gonna paint it gold. I'm gonna buy these
Have
buildings and
you
I'm gonna do
have you
this.
seen
And like,
have you seen the Donald Trump movie?
no,
No.
what's the
Oh, no, 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 no. It's very informative because like it's the young Donald Trump being
oh,
mentored.
I know. No, I haven't seen it. I know what you're talking about though.
And
Okay,
Sebastian Shaw, I think.
you know what it's like? It's like
Sebastian Stan.
never admit defeat. You know what I mean? Every
Yeah,
time
yeah,
when
yeah.
you know what I mean? So like that's part of the gaslighting. He will never admit that there's inflation. You know what I
Can't.
mean?
He can't.
He can't. He
He's
can't.
always got to win. He's got to win on
He
everything.
always has to win. And
And it
you know
works.
what?
Look at you last year. You bought
What do
it.
you mean look at me? What are you talking about? That was your guy, bro.
That was your guy. He went on Joe Rogan. You're like, man, sorry, that's it. He got shot at, and that's it.
Well, no, that was obvious that he was gonna win.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
he was
I
hands
know.
down.
I'm
It
just
was
saying
obvious. No, you did not know. You were like, "Nah, dude, Kamala's got it. I'm not worried." And
I knew
then
it was gonna turn. I mean, I thought Kamala was gonna win, but it would have definitely been decisive if it didn't happen.
yeah, there was not a chance in hell she was gonna win that election.
If that
No.
after July,
They
sure.
say her whole campaign was money laundering.
I don't know who they you always say they, and I
I
never know who
love
you're talking about, dude.
But or I'm not gonna lie, when I say they, I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of the time when I say they, it's me just thinking. It's me
You're
just
thinking?
thinking, and I just need validation.
So her whole campaign was money laundering out of a feeling.
It's gotta-
So we're rewatching Veep, and every time I watch it, I'm like, this was Kamala Harris, like the whole
To
time,
the
dude.
T, dude.
It is like I was like, there's no doubt in my mind. This is how she operated.
What's
Just completely. You never seen Veep on HBO, dude? One, it's a funny show. It's a really funny. It's from like 2012.
Yeah.
It's
Got the lady
it's a little,
from Friends.
no, not from what? No, she's from Seinfeld. It's Elaine.
Seinfeld, Elaine. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's hilarious. And then there's this like I had watched it before, and then somebody had put like these like clips together of like Veep and then Kamala Harris, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck,
Yeah.
that is her.
But I mean, like they probably
Just
the Matrix
egotistical, just completely incompetent. Her staff is incompetent.
The Matrix probably was like, "Hey, listen, throw together a narrative, a character, and just put it on a
Dude,
person." And that's what they did.
I can't believe you've never seen Veep, Jordan. Like
I don't.
it's
I
actually
only like recently got HBO.
it's really funny. You've seen Arrested Development, right?
Yeah, of course. That's my favorite show
Yeah.
of all time.
So the guy who plays Buster is her like bag boy.
Mhm.
Dude, it's so funny, dude. It's so funny because they just play like the most incompetent people who are in politics, and you're like, yeah, this is probably how most of them are.
All right, I mean, I'll check it out.
It's really funny. It's really really funny.
I'll check it out. Mind you, I never
but-
liked Kamala. I just didn't want the shit that's happening right now to happen. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. Like you said, like he can't lose, right? So like I think the tariffs thing was one of those things, right? Where he had Peter Navarro, or it's Elon Musk called him Peter Retardo, whispering about tariffs in Trump's ear, and Trump's like, yeah, let's give it a thing, and he like endorsed it, and then he's like, oh fuck, we can't back away from this now.
No.
Because everybody's saying it won't work, so he's like, now I'm gonna double down and say it will work, and it is the only way.
Yeah, because this guy, first of all, this guy is over here is like the whole main reason for the tariffs, right? Was so he could bring companies back into the US, right? Making
what he
quote
claimed.
unquote that's what he claimed, right? But then we get the tariffs, and then they're like, you know what? We're gonna start outsourcing again. So we're getting our meat from whatever. Where are we getting our meat supply again? Argentina. That's hurting our farmers. We're like the whole idea of the tariffs was to bring corporations and companies back,
Well,
so we can just
Yeah,
so
but
we can revive up America again. But he was like, you know what? It's not working, so we're gonna go and outsource again.
my favorite thing is they were like, and these CEOs knew how to play the game, right? Like, you know what? We're gonna pledge $100 billion infrastructure deal in the US if you relieve tariffs on us. And he's like, sounds great. So then they're still just importing stuff now. And they're like, yeah, yeah, of course we're gonna invest that money. Yeah, 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 yeah. But we're not affected by the tariffs. So it's like, dude, it's crazy, man. Because now they're just playing the game by saying, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna invest. Well, I promise you, but we need some relief on tariffs. And he's like, yeah, sounds good. Part of the deal. You know what I mean? And it's just
There's the
like,
deal.
what are we fucking doing here? You know, what are we doing here? It makes absolutely no sense. Well, they haven't signed a single trade agreement. You can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure they're always like, "Oh, we've agreed to something," but they haven't actually signed anything.
I know.
Remember, it was 90 days. 90 days.
90 days.
That was 6 months ago.
Have you you know what's so crazy? It's like, do you ever think we would have somebody in office where we would just agree, be like, "Yeah, that was a good move," or "That was you know what? That was kinda brilliant what that person did," or you know what I mean? I feel like we never really had, like,
I was once optimistic, I
you
guess.
know,
Once.
it's just not I don't see it happening.
Who
Like,
knows, man? Maybe
this
when you get there, you'll be very agreeable, you know?
I hope so. Be like, "Bro,
Yeah.
I
You
I'm
don't see any like you don't see any presidents actually playing chess. You know what I mean? Like you just don't see that kind of stuff.
'Cause I don't I this is my thing, right? Day at a time, kick the can, down the line, put out fires.
It's all about because it's all about elections. It's all about getting your
It's all
people
about
reelected.
right.
And you don't wanna, like, put something out there where they gotta run on it, and it's gonna cost them the Epstein is a perfect example where Donald Trump is a lame duck president, right? Like,
Yeah.
legally, he cannot run again. He cannot be president again. So that's why you're seeing some of these, like, House members like Marjorie Taylor Greene and, some of the other fucking crazy MAGA
Thomas
chicks.
Massey.
Well, Thomas Massey's I mean, he's probably the most principled out of all of
Well,
them,
he's
right?
like
Like
spearheading the.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm saying the people who are originally MAGA
Oh, okay.
and, like, diehard MAGA are being like, "No, we're voting for Epstein. Like, we ran on this, and we gotta get reelected." And, like, that political reality is setting in on a lot of them. And that's why you're not like, they called Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, like, the White House. They brought Lauren Boebert to the fucking, Situation Room to be
Really?
briefed by Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and all this stuff, and she still voted yes on signed the petition because
It's
she's like,
crazy, man.
it's nuts because they're like, "Nah, dude, like, we fucking ran on and they ran on it." You know what I mean? Like
Dude, that but see, that's what I was saying about, like, Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. Like, bro, you're only in this position for, like, a couple of years. Like, you got most of your thing from, like, the internet by doing podcasts and stuff like that. And you are just completely just wrecking it, dude. Just got completely just wrecking your
well,
career.
this is what happens when you sell certainty on things you have no fucking idea about.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%,
That's what
dude.
they got in there and they're like, "Oh, here's the files." And they're like, "Oh, fuck, we can't release these." You know, like that's what had happened. That's what happened. But they were so sure and they built a brand and they made all this money and they get in there and they're like, "Ah, God, dude, like he's in them. He's
I
in them."
wonder do you think Donald Trump sweats this?
I think this is the one thing he sweats. It's the one thing that he's always hedged his bets on, right? When they're like, "Hey, you gonna release the JFK files?" Fuck yeah. MLK? Nobody's asking for it, but of course I'm going to.
Yeah,
And they're
he's the
like,
one that brought it up, right?
yeah, and then they're like, Epstein? He's like, "Well, I don't wanna, like, put anybody out there,
Stop
like,
talking
there's
about it.
victims." Yeah, he's like, "Who the fuck is Epstein?" You know? And by
I
the
hon
way, Ghislaine Maxwell got moved to a low security prison, where she's not allowed to be at, by the way, because you're not allowed to be at Club Fed if you are a sex offender. Like, it's illegal. Like, it's not allowed to happen. She's there. She's getting special perks, and this whole thing. Like, read up on it, and all that stuff was starting to leak about like the birthday book and Trump, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
she got moved, and
Yep.
it stopped.
It's
Yep.
crazy, man.
And then, like you said, like, as soon as the government, reopened that one lady
Yeah, they
went
swore her in. They had to. And they're like, and then they voted on they signed that petition, and
Yup, right
next week,
away, dude,
next
right
week, dude.
away.
Dude, that's the one thing. Like, I'll give Thomas Massey some credit on, bro. He was like, it's gonna fucking happen. He's
Yeah,
like, there's
dude.
just no way around it. Him
Yeah.
and Ro Khanna, right? Like, at least there's a little bit of bipartisanship there, where they're just like, Epstein is politically viable for a lot of these people because they ran on it.
They ran
And
on it.
it could take down Trump. It could make him at least like politically inept,
I
right?
I I I I think
But
it will. I mean, like, I think it will. I think they do fear. I mean, like, I am a conspiracy theorist. That's why I think they killed off Kirk, because they were voting on releasing the Epstein files on that day. They were voting on that day.
yeah, but the Republicans weren't going to vote for it anyway. But that's why they signed this petition. The petition forces a vote. Like, the speaker cannot override it, or what? I can't remember what this fucking called. Here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to vote. They're going to get released. Well, here's the other problem: is if they vote on the amendment or the bill to release it, Trump still has to sign it.
Yeah.
And if he vetoes it, it goes back to the Senate, and the Senate's got to override it, which might happen. But if more stuff gets leaked, dude, and if politically Trump becomes toxic, he's taking down JD Vance. JD Vance can't step away. He's tied his fucking boat to Trump. What you're going to see Marco Rubio resign, and the next day announce his run for president and completely distance himself from Trump. I swear to God, I think that's what's going to happen.
Dude, that'd be kind of funny. So you think so like who do you think would be taken down? Obviously Cash Patel would be taken down because he lied
dude,
to everyone on
gone.
the internet.
Pam Bongino, gone.
Gone.
Pam Bondi, gone.
Gone.
See,
Probably
that's the
Pete
thing.
Hegseth will probably be gone
Pete
too.
Hegseth, yeah, just like a stray bullet, dude. He's just gonna be taken out. Like, they're gonna be like, like, I think Trump's gonna be like, cabinet, you're all gone. And they're gonna be like, well, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, that's what Pete's gonna be doing. He's like, what I was like, yo.
What? Dude,
Oh, you gonna start
is
crying now,
there, like
Pete?
a meme we could like post to
You're
get
gonna
rid of
start
all of
crying
this?
now?
We
Yeah.
need to open up our greatest memes.
But here's the thing, I think they're fully aware of it, and they're in it together. So they're
They have
like,
to be.
listen, they have
They're
to
all
be, right?
they're all that's why I'm telling you, there's only a handful of them that are not overly vocal. Marco Rubio, because he's got like 45 fucking jobs in the administration now. It's kind of crazy. You don't hear from him. You don't hear from some of the other, like the energy secretary, that much, because that guy's a fucking retard. Didn't know he was like, whatever, said solar couldn't power the United States, like an idiot.
I think Duff would
And
be okay.
I don't know. He's kind of going hard in the paint right now.
He did for
he
the
might-
shutdown, but it's not like he went hard in the paint in defense of everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple that are like insulating themselves, but Pam Bondi's gone.
Oh yeah.
Pete Hegseth's probably
It's
gone.
just Pam
I think
Bo-
Tulsi Gabbard's probably gone. Obviously Cash.
I don't think Tulsi Gabbard.
I think
I don't
Cash
think
is
she
the
knows
most
what she's in.
gone from everyone because he had to hitch his wagon on fucking Joe Rogan.
Dude,
The
him and
most
Pam Bondi.
gone. Yeah.
Him and
Bondi
Pam
is
Bondi.
definitely gone.
She's like, it's on my desk, and then she's like, and then she literally, and then it was like, what desk are you talking about? You know what I mean? She's like, I don't have a desk.
Like
I've never even seen a desk.
That photo of those influencers with the binders.
Oh, with
that's
the
gonna be in
binder.
textbooks in the
Phase
future.
Bro, I
one,
mean,
baby.
that's the thing, man. They're sitting there trying to gaslight us. The optics and the gaslighting.
MO for this administration since 2016 is just gaslighting.
Bro, it's just so like, you know what too? Is that the news you get on the internet is so different than the news that you get on TV. Like, it is so different.
It's
Like,
by
when you try
design, bro.
but I'm just saying is like when you go and like you say you talk to mom or you talk to Marv or you talk to your guys' dad or you talk to somebody and they get their news from the
Mainstream
TV,
media, yeah.
there's zero depth, there I mean like there's zero depth to anything that they say. Like it's just wrong. It's just like so like you can't really have a conversation with the older generation because it's like their information is just so wrong.
Dude, you can barely get anywhere with people who get all their information on the internet. Because it's all like conspiracy laden, half of it. Some of it's just
Yeah.
wrong. It's really no better. The media in its entirety in this nation is so broken. It doesn't matter where you're getting it from anymore.
No, that's true, but
That's
but
why
I
a
mean,
lot of
like,
people were just like, why don't we give the comedians a chance and get our news from there? And that's broken.
I think that the problem with like the TV side of the house too is like 24-hour news cycles ruined America, right?
yeah,
Like because they're like we have the 24-hour news stations and they're gotta fill it with something. And most of the stuff that passes as news is really just opinion stuff, right?
just
Yeah.
opinions.
But they're like, well, I used to be a journalist, and they're like, we do journalism here. It's like, nah, not really. And then they gotta fill and then again, it's all about selling ads. So you gotta be able to like have them, you gotta market yourself, you gotta do something, you gotta be whatever. And nobody took the side of being like, fuck it, I'm going to question everybody, right? I'm going to try to be down the middle and deliver facts.
Right.
Um,
And on the flip side on the internet, it's audience capture. It's
yeah,
whatever
the internet's
sensationally
total
is
total audience capture. You know who I was
audience
thinking
capture
about
and
this?
clickbaiting. People like
Yeah,
the internet journalists who are, they're on the ground journalists and stuff. It's all it's all clickbait, it's all cut, edited clickbait. And
yeah, it's all
people,
bullshit.
the attention span is
No,
so
no, no, no,
bad
no,
that
no,
they
no,
need like the 10
no, no,
seconds
no,
of
no,
just
no.
fast action. Like, oh, I just own this guy. Look at this
Nah,
crazy
some of
guy.
them are really down in Egypt in the tunnels and stuff like that. They're out doing
I'm not
Jimmy
their
talking
Corsetti,
about them. I'm
baby,
talking
pour one
about
out.
politics.
But
No,
what were you gonna
but
say? See,
I
what
was
were you
gonna
gonna?
say, the other thing I was really thinking about is like also politics is so fucking polarized. So like, let's say you're on CNN and you have a
Right.
legitimate news anchor who's not like trying to take sides, but they're pushing on somebody and they're questioning them.
Yeah.
One side's gonna be like, "Yeah, fucking get him. This guy's owning that guy." And the other side's gonna be like, "You fucking political hack. Why are you questioning him like this? You wouldn't do that to anybody else." So like, you can't win. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Right.
matter.
He's
You
trying to get
just
his
can't
gotcha moment.
win. Yeah, and it's
But
like, no, maybe he's just trying to get answers, or she's trying to get answers.
do you think because Trump has almost been in there for a year, and he basically took he took from one end of the extreme to the other end of the extreme. What he should have done, if he was, somewhat smart, was take it to the center, and then near the end of, like, the 3, 4, take it to this level of the extreme. Because he took it to the extreme too fast, which made him lose so many people, even in his own part. I don't care. Here's the thing. I don't believe a single word that Trump says because of this. He can say, like, MAGA's full behind him. I guarantee you 90% of MAGA does not like Trump anymore. 90%. I'm saying the majority of Republicans probably do not like Trump anymore. The
But they'll never
major
admit it.
They'll
Well,
never admit it.
yeah.
They may not never admit it, but I bet you Republicans will admit it, but the MAGA sicko fans
Yeah.
they won't admit it. But deep down, they're like, this guy's got to go. He's got to go because he's out of touch of reality. Just like so painful.
I mean, it is painful, especially with that interview he did. What was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, about America will collapse with all the H-1Bs in the universities and stuff like that. They were really pissed
Oh, yeah,
off
the
about that.
colleges, yeah,
Yeah,
but they're letting the 600,000 Chinese students in. Dude, MAGA's losing their fucking
yeah, they're
mind on
saying
that.
America's not talented enough.
Yeah.
I know he said that. Because that was the other thing, right? That was the big thing with, like, tariffs and stuff like that, like, "Hey, um, you like, that was the thing with immigration, right? Immigration, like, "Hey, we gotta kick these people out so these people, Americas can do their job. Americans can do their job. America can do" like, he was doing all of this, and then he completely just did a 180. Am I the only one that's seen that? Like,
What do you
did
mean?
he
I saw it coming a
I,
year ago.
I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. Like the doing the 180. The 180 in about what?
about, like so, like, with the tariffs, the immigration, stuff like that. Tariffs were supposed to yeah, we're supposed to make money, but it was also supposed to get us
Oh,
to
bring in business. Oh, you're saying like he's almost like turned his back on that, but he hasn't though because like he's still saying that's the right move. It's just now they just all they do is they just move the goalpost a little bit here and there.
yeah, and
You know.
that's what I'm saying, but I mean, like, he's completely, like because now he's saying that we need those, like, immigration people because we're not talented enough.
Well, he's always he never wanted to like okay, so there's the legal immigrants and the illegal immigrants.
Right.
Right? That's why he kinda got in trouble in the beginning, right? It's because all the tech bros are all like who supported him are like, "No, we need these guys because they're cheap and they
Yeah,
can do what Americans can do for a lot cheaper rate, and we can lock them into it," right? It's almost like indentured servitude at some in some capacity. Um, so, like, I don't think he's ever that's the thing is, like, I think some of the things he say contradicts themselves, but not really, right? Like illegal immigrants. It wasn't that he was completely anti-immigrant. He was anti-illegal immigrant, and he claimed that it was going to be like criminals and whatever first. But then it was like, no, it's just going to be whoever we can fucking round up at Home Depot or Seven
yeah.
Eleven. We're shipping them out, and that's the MAGA thing. The MAGA thing was all immigrants, but Trump was always kind of like not really right. You know what I mean? Like I think if there's a benefit to a business, he was going to be like, okay, whatever. And it was the thing he could hang his hat on from, like, a publicity standpoint, like, the rapes and the murders or whatever, he, like, kinda over embellished. And then for the tariffs, right, it was always like that was just a game. They didn't understand how tariffs work. I truly believe he had no idea how tariffs work and who was actually charged the tariffs because of Peter Navarro and that dumbass who wrote a book who quoted an expert that was just himself. It was an anagram for his own fucking name, dude. It was crazy, right? Like he just put these dumb people around him who said what he wanted to hear because they were like, "Hey, we're on X, we're on Twitter. This is what MAGA cares about." He was just so focused on his base. And some of the things he talked about resonated with other people, like securing the border. That's an easy sell for a lot of people because that does impact jobs in lower income areas, right? People are, I don't think people are against like strategic tariffs on protecting certain American industries. There's like a couple other things where it's like, okay, in theory they work, but in the way he's implementing them, it doesn't work at all because there's no plan, dude. So like you get what you were saying about the what was it? Uh Americans aren't talented enough.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like the the Department of Education is a great example of this. MAGA is like, get rid of it, right? They've been saying that for years. Republicans hate the Department of Education. Why not retool it and be like, you know what? We're going to take the Department of Education and refocus it on trades. You know what I mean? Like he could have taken that and revectored it and be like, we need talented coders. We need talented, plumbers. We need talented whatever. We're going to start giving more grants and stuff and, help on in these other areas in order to help people get jobs.
I
Instead, he's
mean,
like,
that
shut it down.
But unfortunately, they poisoned the well when it came to the Department of Education.
That's what I'm saying, right? They
They
don't come with
poisoned the
any real
well.
policy.
They poisoned the college well, the university well, because in their minds, it's just a woke indoctrination center. So you had to
Yeah.
burn it to the ground. There's nothing you can't retool it because in the end, who's going to be the teachers? Probably the same people. And so you can't. So in their view, just get rid of all of it. They're mad that Chinese people are going to go into universities. I don't get it. I thought it was just like North Korea. So obviously, what are they going to get out of it? Nothing. Indoctrination. So like, what are you worried about?
It's just crazy, man, because like, yeah, all this stuff sells, it all sells the chaos and it sells the, outrage, right? It's all outrage politics.
Right.
But it's like if they would have come with like real policies and be like, hey, we're gonna do this, but in order to offset that, we're gonna do this, right? Like tariffs are a great example. They came with no fucking industrial policy whatsoever to be like, hey, in order to stave off some of the immediate impact of tariffs, we're gonna be giving these subsidies and we're gonna do this and we're gonna give grants and blah blah blah. None of that came to fruition because they have no idea what they're doing. They just like they put the weight on one side of the scale and the other side went flying up and they were like, "Oh fuck, we should catch that when it comes down." You know what I mean? It's just like it's crazy. It's crazy.
And the richest among us are profiting off of it. Not us though.
Yeah, dude. And now Bitcoin's fucking tanking.
Tanking. We got a trillionaire coming on the docket.
Dude, it's so bad. I like South Park said it the best. It's like all the crypto thing. Like once Trump got in the White House, it just started. They figured it out. It's so bad. I mean, I wouldn't. I stopped investing money into crypto. I want to take it all out, but I think I'm gonna just hold on to it until he's somehow thrown out of office.
Well, his kids are buying it up. They're buying it
Yeah,
up right now, bro. They're
They buying
snatching
it
it
up.
up.
Must
yeah.
be nice to have such insider information.
Yep.
Dude, it's so corrupt. I just don't the whole thing.
You're playing, yeah, you're playing against a corrupt system, so it's kind of tough to like really make it out. That's why
The
I
whole
pulled out a lot.
but that's why I think there's going to be like I think there has to be a revolt.
I don't think the American people have a stomach for something like that. We're very insular, you know. We're very
I
insular.
know.
We are steeped in American exceptionalism, man.
No, and that's
Deep down, we're kind of the American society is very selfish, and unless you can get like a huge communal like reason to do something, people aren't going to do it. It's too tough.
well, that's what I'm saying, alright? So, like, 1, groceries are starting to get expensive. If you're starting to get layoffs from AI, and then if you're starting to close out people that have SNAP, right? Um, I feel like there would be too many people in the streets, too many hungry people in the streets, and then I just think with everybody being stretched and everything so tight, I think it's going to do more it's gonna rally the troops. I think those situations call for rallying the
Well,
troops.
why do you think the Republicans are trying to redistrict in certain states? That's literally why. Because they're trying to take out these voters who might now vote, who were probably low propensity voters and are now like, fuck it, I'm gonna vote these guys out of office. And they're trying to, disperse their voting power by redistricting to ensure that they can't lose those seats. That's literally what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah,
It's
with like
crazy, dude.
Texas,
Texas,
Indiana.
Texas, Indiana, but then and then California is like, all right, well then we'll do it. But
We'll do it. I mean, if I was Pritzker, I'd be like, all roads lead to Chicago, bro. Every line starts in Chicago. That's what I would do. They don't. I
yeah,
don't.
but
California,
you
it
know,
sucks, but at least they voted on it, I guess.
yeah, they did vote and they voted to approve it, but it's all right. In Illinois, every governor ends up in prison anyway. So I'm sure
Yeah.
JB Pritzker and his gambling winnings,
Look,
Yeah,
once
you know,
again, I don't know why you're just jealous that he does better in the casino than you do. I know that hurts you a little bit, but he's a big guy and he has
that's
big wins.
is a big guy with a big budget and is a nepo baby, and I'm gonna win.
Big win. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, it
Like
must be
that.
nice not to have to work and just go gamble away your family's money.
That's my governor, dude. That's my
What
governor.
what a fat asshole, dude.
That's my governor, bro. I mean,
Midwest Chris Christie, get out of here, dude.
Midwest Chris Christie is
dude,
right.
he likes his hot dogs, his deep dish pizza, dude. He's just a Chicagoan through and
If
through.
he
You
makes
know,
it and if he lives for another 5 years, I'd be surprised.
he's actually on Ozempic.
He's going
Oh,
He's
to.
that
lost a lot of
He's
weight.
go. Look, when you're saying President Pritzker, because there's just a ring to it.
did Pritzker thank Trump for signing that bill to make Ozempic cheaper?
Do you yeah, did you did you
I
see
did hear about
RFK
that.
getting up out of there? He was like, "I'm gone."
Who?
When that one guy fainted.
Yeah, when the guy faded. Did you see that, Jordan?
Oh,
When he
the
signed the
Oval
bill?
Office.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
And
CEO of
Dr.
like,
Oz was there.
yeah, yeah, and then yeah, RF when the guy faded, RFK just walked out of the Oval Office,
I done done
and
the
Trump
same thing.
Trump just stood there like,
What? I
He like
know.
did a Mitch McConnell. Yeah, it was so
dude,
weird, dude.
it was awesome. It was
There was
so fun.
I think it was like Pam Bondi on an interview going like he was calling that dude's wife immediately, like giving him check-ins about like, and we're all just like, no, he didn't. He did not.
No, he was
Dude,
like, "Somebody give me some McDonald's, bro."
what a clown show. This is why we need Pritzker in the White House, you know?
Do you
No.
first of all, do you even think like I don't even think like Trump thinks he's going to lead the office. Like I have like no inkling. Like I think he is trying to cement himself there. He's
I mean,
dropping little hints.
with all the changes to the White House, like with the gold and shit, the new ballroom and shit, it's kind of an odd move for someone who's only got like 3 years.
I mean,
No,
what
no,
other
it's legacy building. He's legacy building.
I mean,
That's
he's got to
literally
know
what he's
whoever
doing.
takes over next is gutting it.
They're not gonna get not well, he I think he thinks that, it's gonna be, either JD or Marco, and they're gonna he's gonna see himself as the kingmaker. He's like, "I'm gonna go to Mar-a-Lago, and he's gonna be the kingmaker, and so if the Republicans win again, they can't touch it because he made them." Did you see how he now wants the Commanders to name the new stadium after him
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
DC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. Who does stuff like that?
Him, the guy who
I,
puts
I'm
his name on everything.
I honestly believe he's gonna get I think we are going to have to throw him out. Like, I for some reason, I think we, the people, are going to have to throw
That
him
would
out.
that would be the biggest constitutional crisis in American history
I
if
I
that
I
happened.
thi I think that's what's gonna end up
Yeah, like a
happening.
coup de yeah, are you talking about impeachment or a coup d'etat?
A coup d'état. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, I think this is I don't see I mean, maybe I'm, like, doomsday-esque right
That's
now.
doomsday-esque, and that's
I mean,
crazy, dude.
I
That
I
would
will say
wreck this country.
people thought that when he lost the first time that he might just not leave the White House. But, you know, it's kinda hard not to leave the White House when the movers come in and take all your shit out,
Right.
so, like,
But
there's only so much. I mean, it's gonna be just all bloviating, and I think he wants to be the kingmaker, and he knows that his legacy he's still old, and he knows he's old, right? Like, that's why he's trying to do all this stuff to the White House. That's why he's trying to get his name on everything because he's trying to cement himself in American history. And he wants to go to Mar-a-Lago and he wants to knight and crown the next Republican president. That's what he wants.
do you think
Because
I
that's
should
the next
just
step. He wants to be president emeritus. That's literally what he wants to be. He wants
do
to be Kim Il Sung and be president for life, eternal president,
yeah.
but whatever.
President
I mean,
emeritus.
no, I get what you're
I'm
saying.
telling you, dude, that's what he
I
wants.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, like, with that move, that's why I think he just, like I know you say he wants to leave the legacy, and I agree with you, he wants to leave a legacy. I just don't think he would be like, "Yeah, I wanna be the kingmaker." I think he just wants to be flat out the king. I like
I I think he did, and I think that I guarantee you they were looking into, like, "Hey, what kind of, like,
oh,
loophole is there?"
100%.
But then
Yup.
when he came out and said, like, "I can't run," he's like, "It's not possible." I think that was, like, an admission, like, "Hey, we tried, but it's not gonna happen."
Yeah,
He
because
tried to
I
get
got
around
the
the
same
Constitution that
vibe.
we
I got
we
the
love so much in this party.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but say, like, if he was, right? Say, like, there was a Democratic, um, president next, right? It's dangerous because if the Democrats win next election, don't you think they're going to go right after his legacy, like,
No, because
day
they're
1.
no.
Day 1.
They'll do some lip service against his legacy, but like if anything like proved in this shutdown, they don't have the balls. And they'll probably be like, okay, guys, we need to like unify and reach across the aisle now. And with Trump still controlling the Republican Party, they're obviously going to be like, you got to protect us, you got to protect us. And let's be real, especially with like the tax cuts and stuff like that, Democrats will pay lip service, but they don't do anything about it. They never do. They like that shit too.
Yeah, because money's bipartisan. Money unifies everybody.
It does. I mean,
More
if I
money,
was
more
running
me.
as like the Dem nominee, one of my big platform is I'm going to make sure everything is erased. His legacy gone.
What if they're like, yeah, but we can get you in a insider trade where you can make 100 times that money.
I would still do it. I would still do, and I would expose that.
But if
No, here's what you do. You just say, all right, I'll take it. And then you talk a big game and then you just drag it out for a long time. You say, oh yeah, the documents are on my desk. And then just pretend and then just let it go into the ether. You know, it's just
and then just keep gaslighting, man. The gaslight, bro.
I mean,
Dude.
dude, I would
depends
have
on
a
how much
scourge,
percentage
scourge
of
earth
Congress.
policy.
Nah, it depends on how much of Congress you own. You got to control Congress, right? Like that's what they need.
Who controls Congress?
Republicans right now.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was APAC. I didn't know that.
Oh
Here
damn!
we go. Oh my god.
I mean, you know, I feel bad for the Republicans because they got that weak dick Mike Johnson in there, just that limp, soggy piece of shit. You know, he sucks, dude. And then you got like John Thune in the Senate, who's like trying to be a little more independent, like not getting rid of the filibuster and stuff. Like, but God, Mike Johnson just fucking sucks, dude.
He
That
sucks,
guy
but
is
like
he's a fucking loser.
that was the only guy that could get in after how many revotes did they needed for speaker?
Bro.
Insane, bro.
Yeah, he was just like, I'll suck everybody's dick. Okay, all right, let's do it.
Put me in. Just put me
Just
in.
put me in. He's like, you know, these knees are calloused anyway. Like I'm all in.
His knees are calloused.
I mean, that's pretty much happened after Kevin McCarthy got
Dude.
ousted. What a shit
Dude, that
deal
was-
he made, dude.
That was that whole thing was crazy, dude.
One
It's just chaos.
representative could call his standing into a vote. That's what an insane deal to make.
It was one of the craziest things ever. You know, it was so much different than like the Paul Ryan revolution, right? When John Boehner got ousted.
Yeah.
That was a little bit more like, I don't know, man. This whole thing is just fucking crazy. Like,
what gets me the most is just like after all that like House Speaker debacle, how a massive shit show that was. People still woke up and was like, we should just give them all of Congress. This will be better.
it's wild. It's fucking wild.
It is wild, man.
Now I'm just like depressed. I'm just depressed.
I need to know because you're wearing a shirt. How do you feel about Elon's pay package?
Hey, man. Give the man what he's worth.
What do you mean the pay package? The $1 trillion pay package?
$1 trillion?
I mean, if he hits the goals they gave him, like, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, if he can do what they want him to do, and they said we will give you this amount of money, then yeah, he's worth it.
Yeah,
it's all in stock and shit, you know, whatever.
You think Tesla will hit a $8 trillion valuation?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, fucking Nvidia is at 5 trillion. You know, Nvidia itself is like the third biggest economy in the world. It's crazy, dude.
It's crazy, but we all saw that bubble picture.
We did, but like,
is that propaganda? Is that bubble picture propaganda?
No, it's just reality.
That's just how it is right now.
Well, I'm asking you, is it reality or propaganda? Because I mean, like, we don't know anything, honestly.
I think here's what's going to happen is you're going to see Tesla. This Tesla itself is still like hanging on, and it's rebounded, right? As as Elon stepped away from Trump a little bit, they rebounded, especially out in Europe. But what they got to do is they got to get on par with the Chinese. And then I think in order to hit certain valuations, you're going to see Tesla absorb X or XAI. I can't remember which one's the parent company now. I think XAI.
I think XAI is because it absorbed
It
X's debt.
absorbed X, right? Yeah, yeah. So I think you're going to see everything kind of start to like merge in some capacity in order to like probably beef up the valuation. Um, but I think they're hedging in the right areas. I mean, I don't think the robo taxis are going to really take off. Um, or at least not those weird models that they have, right? Like with the no. I think like their kind of like current like Waymo thing is kind of working out for them. Um, the Optimus thing, if that really does take off, I could see that being a huge market if it really becomes semi-affordable. Like, they seem to be the closest to mass producing something of that nature. Although the Chinese one was pretty scary. Did you see that video of the Chinese humanoid
Kinda
they pushed
cool.
out?
It was kind of
Pretty
cool.
cool. Smooth. It was super
It was kind
smooth.
of cool.
And
I
then
also
Yeah.
did you
I
see
saw
the
the
Russian
sales.
one?
I did not see the Russian one. I saw the
It-
Chinese one, and then I saw I think the Salesforce CEO went to Tesla to try out the Optimus robot, and it was awful.
Yeah, well, the Russian one was hilarious. They like brought it out and it's like clunky, and then it fell on its face, and it's like the debut. Such a fucking, at least when Tesla debuted theirs, they just put people inside of a suit, like, pretended like it was there.
It's just
Did you
like,
Uh,
now
guys
just imagine, and then,
yeah,
fucking beef up our stocks, please.
you guys know who the Nelk Boys are, right?
yeah, I fucking hate
Unfortunately.
those guys, dude.
Well, they went to China
Oh.
and, when they went to China, they got arrested, right? Cause like, right when you, get to the border or whatever, they got, like, AI, like, they were describing everything, they got like, everything is AI, right? As soon as you get in there, right, they're like, "Oh, you did a, interview with this person, this is who you are," so they got arrested really quick, and I was like, "Man, that's crazy."
Well, you need a visa to go to China anyway, so they're gonna do their homework on you.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
know that that's easy.
What do you guys think about AI? Artificial intelligence. What if technically you had AI, you put it in the game The Sims, what do you think will happen?
I think it'll be a little less predictable than people think. I don't I don't
Elaborate.
I don't think it I think it at this point, AI is a little overhyped. I don't think it can do half the shit people are banking it can do, what they want it to do. I don't think AGI is a reachable goal at this point. I just don't think it is. Uh, it can barely drive. Um, it can it can code, sure, like easy projects, but anything that's bigger, it really is not that great. I've tried it
Dude,
multiple times, enterprise
I seen
levels, and it's not great.
I seen
And
Chris wield a lightsaber, and you're gonna sit there and tell me that AI is not as
I
good as I think?
I think the only thing it's really disrupting is anything related to art at the moment, but nothing that's like real world, consequential. There's a reason why OpenAI has to borrow so much money. It's not making anything.
The TSA uses AI.
Yeah, well, I think he's right though, right? From like pattern detection, like very things like you can, it needs patterns, it needs definitions, it needs guidelines, and it can operate well in a closed bubble, right? Depending on the data you feed it, I think you can train models to do specific tasks. Um, arts could probably suffering the most right now, but you're right on coding. It's good at coding, right? It can pump out really but it can't be creative with its code, right? All it can do is like give you like a framework and basic, not even it can give you like I would say intermediate coding skills. Um, but yeah, if you want to get creative and you want to do something bespoke and unique, all you can really utilize it for is maybe cleaning up your code and debugging. I think it's really good at that
It's good at
because it's
that,
good at
but
finding errors.
It's good at
right?
finding
So,
errors, but it also like my dislike for it in coding is that it comes up with phantom functions. It can only
it
work in
does.
small
Yep.
scale. Um, it has no concept of security. It doesn't. Everything is very simple. It's very simple. Like I would call it in between a junior and a mid level developer, but it's
Yeah.
nowhere near a senior. Like it can't do architecture very well. It
Mhm.
can't think that far ahead. It's only good in like what you said, like a bubble. Like I would put it on like if you give it a hyper specific task, it can do it, but you need that oversight. You
Yeah.
can't just
You
rely
almost
on
gotta
it.
if you gave it like I want to design this specific function and I needed to do this in this language, it could do that.
Yeah.
Right? And it's easy to do that. So, like, I think that's where, like, honestly, like, AI prompt engineering is gonna come in is, like, how specific can you be? How technical can you be? How much patience do you have to literally write your pseudo code out to be super specific and then give it to it and say, "I need it in these languages,"
Right.
and see if it can recreate it. But you're gonna have to be very, like you said, like, hyper specific and direct. Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near where people think it's gonna be, but then you never know, right? It just takes one breakthrough.
Yeah.
It really just
Eh,
takes one thing. Like OpenAI got it, right? ChatGPT 1 and 1.5 changed the world. Like it made people believe like, "Oh shit, we got something here." And that's
yeah.
all it takes. And it's just really like who's the next OpenAI that's gonna bring it to the next level that has the funding and the right person at the right time doing the right
Right.
thing.
But the thing that AI scares me is not only that, is that the like that bubble we showed was like Nvidia, Tesla, Palantir, all of that. I don't know if like if we even reach like AGI or something like that, that we can really trust the people who are technically its handlers because it's concentrated in so few hands. And not to mention they talk like Elon has, or a lot of these other CEOs have talked like, yeah, a lot of people will lose their jobs, but that's why we're going to have like UBI. And do you really trust that? Do you really trust that that's going to happen? They can't relate to the common people anymore. Like, what's
It's
going
not
to
only that,
happen to the
right?
consumer? Like, that's the problem. What's going to happen to the consumer? Because in especially in our society, you need a consumer because if there is none, then everything falls apart. You can't sell a product to someone who can't buy it.
No, you still sell it to dumb people.
With what? They have no jobs.
They're
Like
not gonna
what?
have any money. Yeah, that's the problem. It's gonna be like it's gonna collapse the economy in some capacity.
And I feel like a lot of people are just like that. The tech bro mentality is always like break as many barriers as you can, apologize or fix later. You know, they don't think the wider scope. They only think I'm at A, I want to get to B, and we'll figure everything out later.
Well, you've seen Candace Owens. She said all the tech bros were aliens.
They're not aliens. They just think differently.
That's what aliens do. They think differently.
Humans aren't a monolith.
What does
Yeah,
that
I would
even
say
mean?
most tech boys or tech bros, they're hyper focused, man.
Yeah,
Because like they have
extremely
to
hyper
be
focused.
because
Yeah.
like most of them got picked on in school and they just focused on what they were good at because like this has got to get me through. And that's how they get trained, right? They're like, I know I can do this one thing and I'm gonna do it the fucking best because nobody else can do this.
Right.
And they're willing to take anything down that stands in their way. Like the story of Facebook is a prime example. Like him just completely fucking everybody over who was an initial investor or contributor that he felt was going to overshadow him. He pushed him out, right?
He did.
Diluted all their shares. He did everything. So, man, who knows? I don't know. Whatever. This, yeah.
This world is
Yeah.
in chaos. But I tell you
The,
what,
the United States is in chaos. The rest of the world seems to be chugging along just fine.
really?
I think so.
I think a
I
lot of
don't
those people are. I think a lot of those people are preparing plans of life without life beyond the United States.
Yeah.
it's a weird phenomenon here in America because it's kind of like tensions are extremely high.
It is extremely high, and there was like reports. Tensions are extremely high. We're super polarized. There's reports coming out of like
Yeah.
the younger generations, like Gen Z or those Gen Alphas that are reaching adulthood, like half of them want to leave the States. So that's a huge brain drain.
Yeah. Yeah. Even boomers want to leave.
Good. Get rid of them.
The thing is like
We're already worried about population collapse in the States. What's that gonna do?
Population collapse. That's not real.
The boomers? If the boomers leave, that's culling the herd, baby. That's just leaving,
I'm talking about the younger gen.
Oh. They don't offer anything anyway.
They offer a legacy.
Yeah.
Especially if their boomer parents die and all their inheritance goes to them and they just, give it to Spain or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I do know like it's kind of like everything
is
money
out of the economy.
I'm right now. I'm waiting for the first anti-internet generation.
Oh,
the detached generation is what's going to have to revitalize the country.
That's where I'm at. I'm detached.
No, you're not. You're a millennial, bro. Get over yourself.
What are you talking about? I'm detached all the way. You can't tell me I'm not detached. Look at me. Look how detached I am. Extremely detached.
Yeah, talking to your microphone online. Cool. Good job, dude. You're like screaming into the void right now.
Oh my God.
I was saying that though. I was like, we all just need to take a break, turn off politics.
Turn it off.
It's just so hard to escape, honestly. Because I mean, like, Trump is doing the next something.
Steps. How to survive. That's what you got to do is come up with the next steps.
I'm not trying to survive. I'm trying to thrive, baby.
So what's the next steps to that?
So I think we just have to change our paradigm. Health is the wealth, man. Let's just focus on ourselves, focus on our health, and then I think our reality will shift and change into a better timeline. That's what I'm thinking.
It's just a platitude.
All right. Well, on that note.
What do you mean on that note?
On that note.
Health is wealth, baby. Health is wealth.
We are a health conscious podcast. Thank you so much for listening to Bag Society. It's all the time we have left. This is Jay signing off, baby.
Now, hold on. This is S. Just to let you know. Health is wealth, baby. Come on, change your reality.
Relax, Maha. All right, brother. Jesus. All right. C-Money out. Later.
Paradise.